Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth, and today I'm going to be doing an original tag video for you. Now, I created this tag on my blog a little while ago, I'd say about a week ago maybe. I was watching YouTube videos and misread the title of one, so instead of fresh reads, I read fresh bread, and it just kept turning over and over in my mind. And so finally I decided I'm going to check that out. There were no other tags like that. And so I came up with 5 questions about making bread or the ingredients for bread that are going to be correlated to writing, and then 5 more questions about the types of bread that will be correlated to reading. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to jump right into it. If you like the tag and you want to do the tag, just go ahead and do it, and then let me know down below that you have posted one so we can all go watch that video. I will tag a couple of people at the end, but if you want to do it, please do. I would love to see your different answers, and just do the writing or the reading portion, whatever. I would love to see it. So let's get started. So writing, as in baking, you need a lot of ingredients. One of the main ingredients for bread is flour. Flour contains the starches and proteins that kind of set the bread. Name something in your current work in progress that acts in the same way as flour and sets the finished product. For me, I'm going to talk about my new adult and say that it's the way the friends interact with each other. They are having flashbacks to other lives. They have spent multiple lives together. So they're having these dreams that are flashbacks. There's all this stuff going on, but they still have a really good connection, and you can see that in all the different lifetimes. And so that kind of sets the story for me. All right, number 2, salt. Salt is used to balance the yeast and boost flavors. Name something in your writing, either your style or a current work in progress, that helps keep the balance or boost the narrative. For this, I'm going to go ahead and say in my children's adventure book that I'm working on, Polonius Punk, his grandpa, whose name is Polonius Punk Sr., he is this really fun, jazzy guy. He loves music, and he loves inventing, and he loves spending time with his grandson and his grandson's friends, all of whom he has adopted as other grandchildren. And so his zeal for sharing his passions in invention and tinkering and music, and just for taking care of the boys and kind of teaching them and shepherding them in the right direction, really gives it a balance and an extra boost to the flavor of the book for me. Number 3 is yeast. Most breads, well, many breads, use yeast to ferment, and it makes the dough rise. What basic element in your writing, which is a style or a habit in general, helps your story or stories to rise? This is going to be a weird answer because it's not something that any of you guys are ever going to see unless I hold up my notebooks for you. But basically, I use colored pens. I do not write in black or in dark blue unless I absolutely have no other choice. I will write in purple, green, pink, glittery, whatever, red, but not in black or dark blue, because I feel like those colors are just, they're everywhere and they're not really inspiring. And so every story to me has colors that it feels like it wants to be written in. And I will then take those colors and write the whole story in it. And for me, that really pulls it together, makes it rise. Number 4, sweetener. Breads often include things like sugar, honey, or molasses to give it a flavor boost. So name something that sweetens your writing. For me, that sweetness is that I am a preacher's daughter, and I have just gone to camps, and I have a lot of friends in a lot of different places, so I've been able to observe a lot of people and how they interact and how different things work. I'm also in band, so I have a lot of just kind of weird knowledge, and I've been able to watch people my entire life. So I can take that and put it into my books, and I feel like it gives a little bit of an extra edge to my characters because the way they interact together is more realistic and it's not just one version of people. And then finally for the writing, we have the extras: fruits, nuts, meats, etc. So a lot of breads include these types of things, these little elements that add an extra pop of flavor to make it into more of a full and complete meal or a full and complete dessert. Name something about your current work in progress that adds that element to nudge your story over the top. I don't know if it's going to nudge my story over the top, but in Polonius Punk, as I said before, Grandpa Punk has a love for jazz and classic rock and inventing things, and also kind of new rock and 90s alternative. He's just a very well-rounded fellow. He's also very literary, as is his wife, and so at the end of the book there will be a playlist of songs that were mentioned, songs that Grandpa Punk loves, songs that the boys love that Grandpa Punk introduced them to, and books, things like that Grandpa Punk and his wife would be listening to that the boys might be involved with. I want to be a good starting place for teachers, aunts, uncles, moms, dads, grandma, grandpa to be able to get with their second, third, fourth grade grandchildren and say, okay, here is a song that we love that they mentioned in the book, so let's listen to it and discuss what it means, or here's a podcast or a book we can read together, etc., and hopefully build some stronger bonds and kind of get that history, the more recent history, into the children's lives. All right, that was the writing side. Now we're going to flip over to the reading, which is the different types of bread. There are so many different kinds of bread, I could not even sit here and name them all for you in a quick fashion, but I have chosen 5 breads and will tell you a smidgen about them and then have a question to go with that type of bread. So number 1 is quick bread. A quick bread is light, airy, and very fast to make. This is typically a roll, a biscuit, a coffee cake, something like that. And it is often a favorite because it can be very, very quick and also very, very flavorful. So it's just a favorite all around. What kind of book or genre do you consider to be like quick bread? Do you have just one book that's a quick bread for you? Is there a type of genre? For me, quick bread would be probably children's books or kind of those really easy contemporary reads like romances. I don't know why. It just feels like those are pretty quick. Middle grade reads. I love middle grade reads. They're amazing and they're kind of quick to read. So for me, that's quick bread. Number 2 is rye bread, which is my favorite kind of bread. My mom has this recipe she makes for me, which is amazing, and she finally wrote it down, so now I can make it. So happy. I love it so much. And it's a denser, more strong flavor. And you can do either dark or light, depending on the type of rye flour. So name a book, a series, or a genre that you could see described like that. That can be dark or light, more strongly flavored. Now, for me, that's pretty much any genre. You can have contemporary books that are really dark, contemporary books that are really light, fantasy, sci-fi, romance, everything. Everything can be dark or light. It just depends. However, the thing that really feels like it's more strongly flavored, denser bread would probably be fantasy sci-fi. You can go anywhere from steampunk to the Vampire Diaries to Anne Rice to The Martian. Just all kind. Well, I guess The Martian's kind of sci-fi. I haven't read or seen, so I probably shouldn't have said that, but you know what I'm saying. You have all these different ways to go with it. So there we have it. Number 3, sweetbread. This is created with sweetened dough, toppings, and fillings. Sweetbreads are often baked into decorative shapes like swans or bunnies, etc. So name a book that feels shaped and stuffed with sweetness. I don't know about this one. In my blog, I went with something like Little Women. Because just when I think about Little Women, I think about the classic cover with all of them sitting on the front, and it's kind of looks like women, and I don't know. That's what I felt. Maybe Anne of Green Gables. I know there's no book that's just happy, 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 happy all the way through it, but Anne of Green Gables, things like that are just kind of the feel-good books. There are things that happen that make us cry or upset, but on the whole, it feels like it's been filled with sweetness and light and happiness. All right, number 4, a tortilla or a flatbread. Tortillas date back to prehistoric times. They are made of corn or white flour. So name a book or series that has withstood the test of time. The Dragon Riders of Pern series. I haven't really heard anybody talking about that lately, but I always see them around. They are fairly well known, or they were a couple of years ago anyway, and they are books that my parents read when they were younger as well. Also, the Star Wars books. They are still making movies off of those suckers. They're still making new books. They just keep going on and on. That has withstood the test of time. And finally, a baguette. A French bread with a very crusty outside and tender meat. This bread is used for multiple purposes, so name a book character that seemed thick-skinned or crusty at first, but you later found to be delicate and tender once you got to know them. Or one that brings out multiple emotions in you. You can also name a book or a series, but I really like the character. And there are so many things that you could go with here. I'm going to go with Hagrid from Harry Potter. He seems, you can kind of tell he's a softie to begin with, but he seems very kind of crusty and standoffish, and then you find out that he's just a big old softie. He loves everybody. Same could be said for Sirius and for Remus. There's just a whole bunch of them. Albus Dumbledore. Whole bunch of them that we could say in the Harry Potter series. So that is the 5 questions for the bread. That makes 10 questions total and a very long tag video. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. And I would like to I'm going to tag the BookTube couple because I would love to see their answers for this. I'm also going to tag Amanda Center, Cherry Walker, Acacia Ives, and Jen Campbell. So hopefully they will see this and do the tag. I would love to see all of their answers and all of your answers. If you liked it, give me a big thumbs up. Give me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.